I left my husband, I left my kids, and I moved to a whole new city, a whole new state, rather. Um, just me, no one else. And I didn't move because I didn't love them, but I finally decided to love myself too. And so for years, like I put myself on the back burner, just being a mom, being a wife, which is great, that's awesome. But, all this time, like I was wearing a smile, but deep down, like I wasn't really happy inside. And so one day I realized that I couldn't keep living a life that made everyone else comfortable while I was crumbling inside. So literally, like I made the most hardest decision like ever, like the most soul stretching decision like ever, and that was to pack my bags and move to Nashville. I actually, one day I just woke up and I was just like, well, I can't do this anymore. Like I feel like I need to do something different, like other than what I'm doing. And I felt like I needed to find me again, like I said, because I felt like I was losing myself. So anyway, like rewinding, I had actually applied for a position with Vanderbilt, and I ended up getting the position, and they were offering a sign-on bonus as well as a relocation bonus. And yeah, like I got the position and I took it. So anyway, no safety net, like no guarantees, no nothing. I applied for my apartment and everything. Like I literally like got approved for everything like right away. So it seems like everything had just fell into my lap. Like it was what I was supposed to be doing. And because of that, like it really validated my decision to leave. And so I did that. I get to Nashville. I started rebuilding my life. You know, I even like started thinking like of another business endeavor that I had been thinking about for like the past 5 years that I never like built up the courage to do. And if you know me, like you know I've had businesses, even like just saving money, paying off debt, like rebuilding my credit, like everything. Like I got my stuff back up, which I'm like totally proud of. And now like I'm getting ready to graduate with my master's in public health here in September 5th to be exact. And honestly, like I still have like a long ways to go. Like there's still so much that I want to do. I cried, I prayed, like I healed, and I did a lot, like, and I found me. But like I said, like I'm not done yet, and I'm like so damn proud of how far that I've come. Like you don't even know the half. And I contemplated about whether like I wanted to even share this, because yeah, like I've always like shared, good news about, certain things happening like in my life, but I've never just opened up and really just shared my truth to people. So this is new for me, and it's definitely like, taking a leap of faith, because this is nothing that I, ever really like imagined doing. But yeah, this is my story. And honestly, like this is for any woman who feels stuck or torn or like scared to choose herself. You're not a bad mom. You're not a bad wife for choosing you. It doesn't mean that you're abandoning love. It doesn't mean that you're abandoning your family. It just means that you're making space for the version of you that has been buried so long under obligation. And that's exactly what it was. Like, if you are in your breaking point area, like, girl, I totally see you. Like, I see you. But you just, if that is something that you're wanting to do, like, I would just say pray about it. For me, like, God is the head of my life, and I really sought him like never before, because God forbid I moved to another state and then the worst happens, but everything fell into place. And then even my husband and I, like, our relationship got better. it started off like really rocky, but we got better, and we developed a deeper understanding of each other. And I feel like things are better than ever because I know who I am now, like even more so. Because when we got married, I was a 22-year-old girl. I had a 5-month-old baby, and I didn't know nothing about being grown. And I was just going along with him, just following his lead. And because of that, I really didn't know who I was. Like I said, like I was just going along, just following my man. He was older, and he had the life and everything. But I had to find like what works for me, and I'm so glad that I did, because yeah, it was literally like the best thing I ever could have done for myself. Because yeah.
Now, let's listen to what we just heard. This woman says, I left my husband, I left my kids, I moved to a new state, just me, no one else. She also mentions in this video, it's not that she don't love, being a mom, being a wife, like her kids, her husband, all that was great. She said it was awesome. Did she not? It was awesome. Which was a contradiction, because she ends up saying that pretty much she had to find herself. She wasn't happy. She was just following her husband's lead. He already had everything. He was set. He had the life. Well, this is today's woman. Okay? I just did a video stating how today's men are not ready to be fathers and husbands. Today's woman is not ready to be wives and moms. And there's so many elements that go into it. And whether you want to point the finger or not, it doesn't matter. You look at the reality of who's doing what and why these situations are how they are. It's like this. If you walk up to somebody and in their face, right? And then they knock you out, people are going to say, oh, well, they both were wrong. No, one was self-defense. The attacker, okay, is the one wrong. Now, let that sink in. Let's move on. So she says he's older than her. She's 22. She hadn't found her way yet. Now she tells you she moved. She found Vanderbilt. She ends up applying for a position. She gets it, and she says that she's going to school to get her master's now, or whatever. And now all of these things. And she said, if you know me, you know I've had businesses and this and that and that. She had to find herself. She had to find out what's best for her. She's confirming what I've known all along. Years ago, I said, if there was no financial compensation and child support, if it wasn't set up the way it was, a whole lot more men would have custody of their children, because the mom doesn't love the children the way they pretend. This is why, and this is for these women that it applies to. Simple. If you're a feminist, shut the fuck up. I don't care how you feel. At the end of the day, this is what they do. The baby's home eating table food. Grandma's feeding the baby. The auntie's feeding the baby. If you have older siblings, they're doing whatever while you're out at the club shaking your ass, fucking somebody else's husband. And then all of this type of stuff. And then because you go to church on Saturday or Sunday, somehow that's supposed to make things better because you fall on your knees and pray. Right. Notice how she said she prayed and like leaned on God more than ever, and God did this, right? So basically, this was God. So God told you to leave your husband and leave your kids. This is what God told you to do. God basically didn't tell you to keep your legs closed and not to have babies because you're gonna have a baby out of wedlock. Or even if you didn't have a baby out of wedlock, bottom line, you're not going to be there for your kids like a mom is supposed to be. The dad is there. Now, she says her and her husband, their relationship is better than ever now. I can tell she's an airhead, and she's very naive. Let's look at what this is. my husband already had the life. Because that's what you wanted, the life. Somehow you think that you're going to not only get the man that has the type of salary you want, but you're going to control him and his money. Obvious. If you've ran businesses, you've had businesses, like you said, you lost them. What you thought was going to happen is this man was going to be a bank account for you. And what probably happened with this guy probably said, listen, you got to get something straight. Yeah, I'm good with money and whatever. I have this life already. But I'm not going to just be giving you money to just give you because you just think that it's okay, just keep the money coming. That's probably more than likely what happened. He gave her what she needed and some of what she wanted, but it wasn't enough. Somehow people think that whatever you gain or whatever you do for a living, that somehow you're supposed to produce more just for them. So you get the man you want. He has the type of money you want, but somehow it's still not enough. That's what I get from her own words. And I can tell she's an airhead. Like, honestly. The reason their relationship is probably better now is because he's happy that she's gone. He has his kids. He doesn't have to worry about going to court for nonsense. He's good. More than likely, either he's with somebody else or working on being with someone else. They live in two separate states. She separated herself not only from him, but from her kids. Where are all these feminists at? See, where are the women now? The real women that stand up and speak on behalf of what I'm saying, they get it, because that's all this is. Let's reverse the roles. Let's say she was in the husband position and he was in hers, and he got up and left and said, I have to find myself. I love my kids. It's not that I don't love my, but I had to leave my wife. She don't love her husband. No, but imagine if she did that. If he did it. Oh, it would be third. Oh, you see, these men ain't shit. Even if you don't want to be with her, why would you leave the state? Because you still got to be there for your kids. Right. So when the woman runs away, when the woman does something foul, he must have did something to push her to that point. If a man does the same thing, he's just a no good scumbag. He's a deadbeat dad and all of that. So she goes and relocates. What if something happens to her? Like she gets in a horrific accident. Now she's a paraplegic. Then what? Who's she going to lean on then? People really kill me with this, oh, I lean to the Lord. The Lord told me this and that. And let me tell you something. According to most people, your God is a fucking asshole. Because according to you all, your God only tells you some fucked up shit about your family. He never gives you good news. And basically, whatever good news, it's stuff like this. You separating yourself from your family, from the people that you should be there for. And relocating and all this. And okay, so it's all a money thing. It's all about things. It's about me. I want to be the boss. He wouldn't let her ass do that. That's what that was. He wasn't a bitch. I'm going to lay down for you. She couldn't handle that. I was 22. I didn't know anything about being a mom or a wife. Basically, right. And however old she is now, she still doesn't. See, I know situations where a person wasn't raised by their actual parents. They never learn what it is to be a wife or a husband. They never learn loyalty to the people that you should be with. So you have people that don't mind being a third wheel. Your wife is always with her friends and their husbands, or your husband is somewhere with his fellas and their women. Like they don't mind that. Whenever they're off work, they're never home. Yeah, on their days off, oh, I'm going here. They don't tell you shit. They just go wherever the fuck they want, come home whenever they want. No text, no call, all day. So they're strangers or people that you don't really know, but they know where your wife is when you don't. All of these things. Okay, then they go to church. They lie to their family. They lie to people. They literally make up lies. And what that is, in case they ever get caught doing something, they want to try to lie their way out of it. But remember when I told you this and that, I've been going through. That's what they do. Now, in her situation, she flat out just left. I'm telling you, today's woman, you can say what you want. You can feel what you want. I simply don't give a fuck. You guys are fucked up. You're fucked up. The men are immature. They act like a bunch of children. The women, same thing. The difference with the men and the women is the men want to settle down, but they don't trust you motherfuckers. They see stuff like this, and this is my point. They don't trust you. So for the women that say men are dogs, men are no good, okay, so wait. Are your men cheating on you with other men, or are they cheating with women? Because my point is, if they're cheating with other women, well, why don't you just say people aren't no good? Because ain't that bitch not shit either? Well, she probably don't know. No, stop it. Do you know how many countless videos I've seen? Countless for years and years now. Way before YouTube. Remember they used to have those private investigating shows? Remember that? A woman would hire a private investigator, or the man would hire a private investigator to see if, pay them to follow their spouse around and see what they were doing. How many fucking times have we seen a woman go, you don't treat him right, and you don't know how to, they know that the motherfucker's married. That's why he can't bring the bitch home. They know that the motherfucker's married. And you can't be that stupid. You're dating a guy. If he say he's not, if he doesn't tell you he's married, are you just all airheads, or you going to say, hey, how come you never bring me home? Why is it, I don't even know your address. He's married. And you can't tell me, oh, well, if he told you, well, I want to make sure things is right before. Okay, he's letting you know. There's a trust issue, right? Okay, but y'all done sucked and fucked like how many times already? Okay, so y'all shouldn't even be doing that. You understand what I'm saying? Well, because basically, let's think about it. Well, all I know is his name is Larry. Well, I think his name is Larry. We done fucked like 20 times already, and I don't know where he live, where he work, or nothing. Yeah. Okay. Then she does what all these lame hoes do. I'm just making this video for all the women. I'm like, listen, on my dead mama, I just felt it all throughout my body that was coming. That was coming. I want to speak for all the women that, feel like I did, like, I see you. So it's perfectly okay. You're not being a bad mom or a bad wife. You have to find yourself. See, everything is about individuality. How long have I been telling you all this? Years ago, I remember talking to a lot of the homies about this type of stuff. Females as well. And a lot of people are just naive. They hear you and they're like, oh, that's deep. No, fuck, that's deep, dumbass. That's what's happening. The fuck you mean that's deep? Like, I'm telling you this to show you, hey, let me just drop some gems on you to show you how intelligent I am. I don't speak about what I don't know. And when I see things coming, and even if I'm feeling like this is where I think things are going, let's look at the reality. I give you the receipts of why I feel like this. Things grow. And the more you feed it, it grows. It grows, and it just continues to grow. And this is what we see. So, how the fuck do you love your children, but you get up and leave them? I had to go find myself. I was just basically doing what he wanted me to do, and I lost myself in all of that. I didn't know how to be a mom. So did he manipulate you? Because I don't know if he came after you or you came after him, but either way, you both had to accept each other. Why do women, younger women, date older men? They're more settled in their careers. They're more mature. They're more about responsibility. These young boys just want to go to strip clubs and hang out with their friends and all that, and neglect to spend time with the female until it's time to eat or they want some sex. That's always, what they've said. Just like an older woman. What do they say about the younger men? It's not about what they say. What's the reality? Let me correct that. What's the reality? What does a fucking 20-year-old man want with a 65-year-old woman? She's a sugar mama. And even let's say she still look good, the age gap is too big. And if she's 65 and she got sons and daughters, pretty much they're much older than that 20-year-old. You see this thing with these teachers fucking around with younger people and all these different people, police officers, judges, whatever. They're fucking around with somebody they work with that's young enough to be their grandson or daughter. Well, this is what I'm saying. It's not, oh, look at that old wrinkled ass. No, it's basically, you know what? She's paying for shit. And they keep it. Shh. You understand what I'm saying? Now, how you have a productive relationship? Remember when Scottie Pippen was messing with a 70-year-old woman and everybody was like, what the fuck is Scottie doing? Like, that's that man's business. But you see the point of what I'm saying. It's not about love, man. It's something that they're benefiting from, or they think they're going to benefit from by dealing with certain people. Okay. She goes and she hauls ass to a whole nother state to get away from everybody. That's what this is about. If you are a man and you seen this video of her and your dumb ass is going, oh, she cute, yo, she look good, yo, you're dumb as fuck. You're going to take somebody else's headache. There is nobody on this earth that you should love more than your wife or your kids, man. Your mom, your dad, your brothers and sisters, like your family, you understand? But what I'm saying, you lay down and you have sex with that person, you want to call it make it love, fuck, whatever you want to say about it. If you're doing it right, you're fucking. But you understand all this emotional attachment, everything. Why is it that when it comes to family, think about it. Why is it that a husband and wife are always, like 98, 99% of the time, the weakest relationship of the whole family? Everybody comes before your husband or the wife. Everybody comes before the kids. Somebody else's kids, the nephews, the nieces. Somebody comes before your own. And the only time it seems that relationships with a husband and a wife may be closer to each other is when they're completely separated from the rest of their family. At least in Americans, in America. It's like you got that cousin you barely ever see, but she's always with her husband, right? And her kids. Okay, cool. They got the family structure on that side, right? But stuff like, but other just one big happy family. No, it's always the husband and the wife are always the weakest of the relationships. And the funny thing is, when you separate, why is it once you separate, now all of a sudden, the person causing the problems between the two, they miss you all the time. They want to see you. You think maybe we could work things out. I want us back together. Now they want to try to, because you know what happened? They done went out there thinking that the grass is green on the other side. They found somebody that showed them, bitch, you're not special. And you know what? They done met another dude. It just don't work. Don't no man want no used pussy. Let's just be real. You done pop 3 babies out of that motherfucker. They don't want to be the daddy of your children. They don't want those responsibilities. This is why a lot of women, they'll stick around in a relationship until their sons or daughters graduate college or something. Then they'll, I just think we should separate. And you done deal. The relationship ain't been shit for over a decade. But you're there. Y'all are together. But what's there? They want out. They get to a certain point in life, they want back in. Because they realize nobody wants me. Yeah. But that person you was with is still a looker. People still go, ooh, are you single now? But nobody's doing that to them. Some people they'll fuck anything. They'll just, it doesn't matter. Right? They don't care. They'll just lay down with anything. But when you look at that type of shit, what we just sat here and listened to, oh man, just imagine how the kids are gonna grow. If hopefully that father can do a better job than her, and explaining things to them about life and teaching them what to do and what not to do. Because if not, they're gonna grow up with that same mentality. They grew up without a mom being in the house. She's alive, but she just wasn't there. They'll have that same mentality, and they'll do the same things to their children, their husbands, wives, whatever it may be. It just won't work. And people don't understand. Once you've been groomed into thinking a certain way, see, I can picture this woman listening to all these videos and seeing what's going on, right? And hearing all these feminists and just being around women talking, I can't have no nigga telling me what the fuck to do, or this motherfucker out here making his money, yet you home doing this and that. Bitch, that's what she wanted. But what she got is a man that put his foot down. That's that part. And that's why she's perfectly fine with the kids being with the father. Because she don't want to be a mom. She don't want to be a husband. That's not what she wanted. You fuck, you get pregnant. I don't believe in abortion. And I'm going to stick around. Okay, so now you were just a 20. And she noticed, she said, I was a 22-year-old girl. Whatever happened to this women mature faster than men? Bitch, I left home when I was 18. I got my first car the following week after I moved out. Was working, doing my own thing, been paying my own bills. Never had to have nobody help me do shit in my house. What the fuck are you talking about? I was a 22-year-old girl. You were a girl at 22? Sounds to me you're not much more mature now than you was at 22. You're just selfish. Let's be real. I had to find myself. Let me tell you what a man does. There's things in life that I wanted to do. And once I had children, it was like, okay, I have to be able to make sure they get everything that they need. Because if I have to put something on the back burner, it's going to be my needs. Okay, I can do that when the time is right. I'll get it done. That's exactly how certain things have to happen. Because I'm not going to make them not get what they need because I got to push them aside to go out and become selfish. No. And this is where people don't understand and why fathers don't get any credit. All you are as a father to the majority of people, mindset-wise, the way they see you, is just a guy. That's it. You're nothing but a bank account. You know, I remember I heard KRS once say one of the dumbest things. This is the y'all call him the teacher, right? He said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard come out of a man's mouth. And I said, maybe this dude don't know his father or didn't have a good relationship with his father, because I don't see how he could and make this comment. He was giving some lecture. This was some years ago. KRS once said, a man can't raise a boy to be a man. A woman raises a boy to be a man. What the fuck are you talking about? Maybe your father couldn't do it. And maybe, obviously, you can't do it. But to say a man can't raise a boy to be a man, what the fuck happened in your life? What kind of men are you? You can't? I'm living proof that a man does that, because I've done that with mine. See, a lot of times people say dumb shit because they try to appease a certain demographic of people. So maybe he was trying to get the women on his side. I don't know, and I don't care, but that was a completely stupid comment that he made. Now, does it apply to some men? Are there some men out here that they don't know? Absolutely. Just like there's a bunch of sorry ass women that don't know how to raise a son or a daughter. So when he said that, I'm like, wow. And then I heard a video where this woman talk about women are supposed to be the head of the household, and then it says who? And for me, I've never been in that whole I'm the man of the house. What I say goes. No, I've never wanted a puppet. But to be honest with you, right? No. Let me before I even get to that. I've never wanted a puppet. I've never wanted somebody who don't have an opinion. No, I always saw us as equals. I've never seen it as you do what I say and I do this and you. No, I've never seen it that way. But to be honest with you, you know, it reminds me of watching like Coming to America when Eddie Murphy said, I want a woman with an opinion and that can arouse my mind as well as my loins. And right now, and remember, Arsenio says, so you rather have a woman that do everything you say, but you rather have a woman with an opinion? When was that movie made? 80 whatever. I guarantee you the majority of men now will look at that movie and go, yeah, Eddie tripping. Now, when that movie was made, you had a lot of men going, yeah, that's true. You don't want no motherfucking dummy that just, it's not that she's a dummy. It's just that was the customs, right, of that, whatever in the movie, the people, you know, how they were living. But the whole point of what I'm saying, let's take reality and look in real life. I want someone that's there for me, that respects what I say and do. But the same for me. I respect what she says and does. But where everything is respectful. No, you do what the fuck you want. And because you are who you are, I have no say so. You're a woman. No. So my whole thing with that is, I want someone to be there for me the same way I'm there for them. It's simple. Like there's no, unconditional love doesn't have conditions, man. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's use common sense. I'm not sitting here like if a woman says, if you love me unconditionally, you let me go screw your best friend, and understand it's not about love. It's just something I want to do. And as your woman, you should know I'm coming back to you. I make love to you. I just want to fuck your friend. No, we're not talking about that, because this generation is into that kind of dumb shit. That's the mindset. very immature, no morals, and just they love the idea. This generation, the people here, even though the people that gets older, they love the idea of I do what I want to do. Everything is about this is me, this is mine, this is mine. You're okay, whatever. That's your little bullshit over there. Everything's about me, what I want to do. If I don't want to do something, then I don't have to. But they expect you to say yes to everything that they want to do. What I don't understand about you women that always want to make these videos talking about how men ain't shit and this and that. Let me ask you all a question. If your man is a piece of shit and a scumbag, is the man that you're cheating with a good man when he knows you're a married woman? Oh, he's understanding that I deserve better. No, fuck you. Is he a good man knowing you're married but he's still fucking you? Especially when you're married with kids. And you don't think enough of your children to have them with their father. No, you want them to accept your boyfriend as their new dad. Nah. So, this is the mindset. And I wanted to show you guys this video. There's a lot more. A whole lot more. This type of mindset, this is what they're doing. This is who they are. If you think that being a dad or a mom is just making a baby, buying school clothes, yelling and screaming at them when they do something wrong, and blaming them for your stretch marks or your C-section, or, the father's out with the fellas every weekend, locked up in his room playing Madden, ignoring everybody, whatever the fuck, like all this childish nonsense. Because I don't see how some of you, like I see people with like receding hairlines, bald spots. All right, I see people they're up in age, like 60s. I look and I say, I don't have a problem with you playing video games and all that shit. It's just something you do for fun, okay? Whatever. I see grown ass men out here with remote control cars. Okay. So that's not the point. But my thing is, I look at the behavior, and that's when I'm like, wow. Because you got some people, they do it, they're just having a good time. They're not sitting here cursing at the screen and throwing tantrums and this stupid nonsense. They're just having fun. Most of these people are monetizing their channels. They're making, hey, it's easy money. Shit, I'm sitting home. And these are probably retired people too, because they're home and this is what they do for a living. So they're collecting their pension, and this is what they're doing to make some money. But what I don't get is like, how do we go so backwards, man? How do you feel comfortable neglecting your family? One of the things I learned, man, is like when you have kids, it matures you in a way of two. Now you have something to protect. You have to become a teacher now. You have to become a provider. You have to be an advisor. You have to be there. You have to give love. You have to give direction. So you have to look at yourself. So it makes you do things differently. See, when you have a situation like this, like I'll give you two scenarios. One, all right, this is real life situations. I'm not even talking about hypotheticals. This is real shit. When you are involved with someone, they relocate because they're pregnant. They're not sure if the baby is yours or not. Okay? They get offended because you want a paternity test. You want to make sure that I want to know that this baby is mine. Okay? Okay, cool. But they wasn't sure. But regardless, they relocate while they're pregnant. It's not about a breakup or nothing like that. I just need to find myself. See, I'm all too familiar with those words. I just got to find myself in this and this and that and that and this. Just to end up having 2 or 3 different dicks in your life to think you're going to come back and we're going to pick up. No. And when they realize it's all about the kid, not you, I have no responsibility to you, it's to my kid. But then I'm going to move far away. Since you don't want me, I'll show you. Then lie to the kid, keep the kid away from you, right? That kid grows up only knowing baby daddies. Not even a father. They just know baby daddies. Meaning your mama has settled down with a dude that already got 2 or 3 kids of his own. Every dude she messed with got kids of his own. She never gets married, so everybody's a baby daddy. But when she does get married, that relationship doesn't work either. So now all you managed to do is bring a boy into this world that grew up to become a grown adult that never really learned how to be a man and is just as childish as you are. Now what happens going forward if he has kids? And he's not used to seeing his dad there. The last time he saw his dad, he was a kid. But what he doesn't know is you blocked everything, you relocated, all of these things that was going on. You're paying child support to a child you can't even see. All of these different things. What happens? How does this help this man? And the cycle continues. The other scenario is when your woman tells you she had a miscarriage, but you find out that she actually had an abortion. Wasn't sure the baby was yours. And all of this going to church don't mean nothing, man. Church ain't shit. You see what they're doing in churches now? Okay, well, church ain't never been shit. In your mind it is, but it ain't never been shit. And if our so-called free will is stronger than your God's words, what the fuck do we need him for then? He's powerless. Because if you can say, let there be light, and there was light, and you can speak everything into existence, and you can, snap, and shit can happen, and, well, then why did you make such an imperfect world? Why did you make imperfect people? How are you perfect, right? But you make imperfect people. Let me give you a scenario. What if birth was made like this? Okay? I can go outside, take some water, pour it on some mud, to some dirt. Now it turns to mud. Now I can sit here and shape and will a little boy. Why in the fuck? Now I'm strong, I'm fast, I'm agile, I'm intelligent, right? I have no weaknesses. I'm perfect. Why the fuck would I create a retarded child? Why would I create a crippled child? Why would I create a child with that disease, that mental, where they're like biting themselves, trying to eat their own food? Why in the fuck would I create that? But I'm perfect. Why would I create a kid that's going to get cancer from the sun? Why would I create, so my point, why would I do that? What's the purpose? Because I love them so much, I'm going to create them. Well, some idiot would go, well, you know what that is? Our love is so undying that we're just showing people that even though you're not normal, I still love you the same. What the fuck do you mean? I created that. Why would I do that? Why would I make a child blind? Why? Okay. Y'all get what I'm saying. So if that's how we did it, that wouldn't be perfect. Yeah, but shut the fuck up. We're done with that subject. Move on. So, seeing this type of shit right here, that doesn't fuck with your mind just a little bit, hoping that your sons and daughters don't go through this kind of shit. That don't make you think just a little bit like, damn, we can sit here and say how this world is doomed, this country, this, that, the next. Man, let me tell you something. I've never seen so many drunk, intoxicated, high on some type of shit, disrespectful, what you call it, mental health having motherfucker. I've never seen people are so fragile and weak. It just turns me off because everything's a problem. I can't go to work today. What's wrong with you? I got a cold. Man, if you don't get your bitch ass up and go make your dad, you gotta. But yet, I'm every soft, man, soft. When I was growing up, man, we played with Tonka trucks, Hot Wheels, action figures and shit like that. Played football, basketball. We wasn't wearing no fucking yellow or no pink Crocs with stickers on them. We didn't sleep cuddling teddy bears and shit. We didn't even want no fucking teddy bears. Okay? We didn't play with girls' toys. We didn't play jacks. That was a girls' game. Remember they used to play that shit? Y'all, the little metal spikes that they throw in, and then you bounce the ball and scoop them and catch the ball, all that shit that they do. We wasn't out there playing double dutch. What's that game they used to play? They used to throw the way they put the boxes on the ground and they be jumping, We didn't do female shit. We wasn't walking around dressing like them, acting like them. We didn't do that kind of stuff. Part of the reason men don't trust women is because of what women do. Part of the reason women can't get a good man is because they don't judge you as a good man based on who you are as a person. It's about your salary. The other reason why it's hard to find a good man is because you got all these femboys out here that don't want women. So now you got males, okay? Males with two different mental agendas that just don't trust women. Now, I'm not suggested, like, for me, like, I saw a video where they would talk about passport boys. Let me explain something about this passport boy shit. I'm not hopping my ass on no plane to go to the Philippines or nowhere else to try to find no fucking love. What we're talking about is, bottom line, if you meet somebody and they just don't happen to be black, and you and that person are attracted to each other and y'all basically build something and it happens, so be it. That's what I'm saying. I am not telling you that I think I need to hop on a fucking plane and go live in another country or do this or that. Or no. So don't fucking tell me about no passport boy shit as if because you're too ignorant or immature to understand what I'm saying. I have nothing to do with that. Okay? But you should shut the fuck up. Why? You're trying to prove a point when a relationship goes sour. But at the same fucking time, what I'm telling you, like I've always said, I've flat out said, there's no guarantee because you date a woman of a different ethnicity, a different country, that automatically the relationship is going to work. What I'm saying, the people that have done this and they're fine, they're not arguing and not getting along and making shit about money. Okay, why are you hating on that? That's the thing I'm saying. When you see these relationships and they're working, why are you concerning yourself with what these people are doing? So at that point, you're crossing your fingers, hoping it go wrong so you can say, see, yeah, you thought it was better. No, this is the whole thing. You don't see Filipino women. You don't see Latino women, white women. You don't see Russian women. You don't see no other ethnicity of women jumping on fucking cameras talking about how the men of their culture ain't shit. They're trash. They don't want to pay for nothing. These niggas. And y'all don't even call black men men. These niggas, these niggas, these niggas. It's like, yeah, okay, I see. The ignorance. The ignorance. So now when we see women talking like this kind of shit, why are we making excuses for her? She didn't say anything about the man treating her wrong or doing nothing. She just said she just wasn't happy. And I'm telling you, you know why she can't give you an explanation or detail? Because she knows it's not about what he was doing to her. She just could not walk all over him. Like she said, he was already living the life. He already had. Okay. And that's why you settled down with him, because you thought he was just going, gimme, yeah, okay. How much you need? Oh, here goes 17,000 for that notebook you want. Yeah, the one with the gold pages and the platinum binder and cover. Yeah, here go $8,000 for them socks that you wanted. Yeah, that's what she thought was gonna happen. Yeah, and when he doesn't do that, here I am, a mom. I got responsibilities. Like she said, right? She wasn't ready for that. So she left her kids, left her husband. Now you gonna do what now? Start a new life with somebody else? How long is it gonna take for you to walk out on him too? I wouldn't trust it. And this is where these men fuck up, because these men have this mentality. Like I said, y'all always think there's something between y'all. I don't give a fuck how many pills you buy to try to make your shit longer, harder, bigger, whatever the fuck. I don't care how deep you stick your tongue up in this motherfucker. I don't care about none of that shit that you think. I don't care how much money you got. Nothing is going to satisfy a selfish person that don't appreciate anything. And the immaturity won't let them do it as well. Just imagine what this world will become if we have hundreds of thousands or even millions of women that think like her. Life as we know it would be so much different, just as life right now is so much different from my coming up and watching. I've watched this shit change several times. Just imagine this though. You bring children in this world, and then you come with this bullshit. This was like one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make. Nah, not really. That's for the cameras. I can remember how I felt when my kids used to go in that school bus, and that's one of the times, man, where it would get me misty-eyed at times. Not because of nothing bad. I just love them so much, man. And it's like you just always want to be around your kids, you know? And all of a sudden, you know, by the time they get back, I'm at work. I used to work the 3 to 11 shift at one point. And so by the next time I saw them, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning while they're sleeping. And then, you know, I get them up for school in the morning and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, just that relationship. And it's not even like she said, I just wanted to get it together. You ain't got to be under a different roof to do that. You needed to, you mean to tell me you couldn't enroll yourself into school right where you were? You couldn't have went to college. You see what I'm saying? She's full of shit. The whole point was, she's sorry as fuck. She was never ready to be a mom. She admitted that. She wasn't ready to be a wife. She admitted that. Bottom line. But what she's not telling you, I just want to do what the fuck I want to do. I'm selfish and I make everything about me. How the fuck was life awesome, but somehow you just decided it wasn't for you? It was awesome, but at the same time, you wasn't happy. It was awesome, but at the same time, you was just following your husband's lead, doing what he, the fuck out of here. Nah. She want to be Miss Independent. It's all about me. And let me say this in close. Fellas, and the women know this too. How many times have you clicked on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, if you're still on Facebook or whatever? What's the first thing that pop up? From people that you're not even subscribed to or friends with on it. Some woman showing her feet, her ass, her tits, twerking, walking with a booty jiggling, hanging out with, right? Now, just think about this. Which one of you think that you're going to meet any one of these women and they're going to settle down with you and stop doing what they're doing? And why would you want to? Think about it. This is all they do. Every time you turn around, they're taking selfies, showing off their physique, showing off their figure. And you know what y'all do? Hit the like button. Don't y'all? Save it into your offer. Don't y'all? Suit their head up. Going in their DMs, trying to hook up with them. Right. And when they meet one of your stupid asses, all the motherfuckers that saw the same things you saw, that's in her DMs just like you, when shit don't go right, she's going to cheat on your ass with one of them motherfuckers. And that's just the way it goes. I'm here looking for my Prince Charming. By showing ass cheeks, what is she doing? I'm showing you my feet all oiled up and stretching them in the air. I'll give you a foot job. Oh, I'm sticking my tongue out to show you what type of blowjob I can give you. I'm showing you this ass to see what could be sitting on your face or what you could be tapping from behind. I'm showing you I'm a freak. That's what they do. And how they say dudes ain't shit, that's the motherfuckers that they got on the side. Like I said, everybody fuck with her, but you stuck with her. And that's the situations that y'all find yourselves in. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.